If we assume that there was some level of advancement in human civilization, we don't need the aliens. Which is going to be more credible or difficult to believe? That it was aliens that came from where and came down to Earth and built these things or helped us build them? Or there was a civilization that had the capability.
Super advanced humans.
Something, yeah, super advanced, yeah. The archaeologists and the prehistorians, people are looking at that, have failed to take into account the severity of these events we're talking about. You don't realize the extent of the total remodeling of this planetary surface that took place. Because the question always is, where are the artifacts? Where's the pottery? Where is the evidence that this civilization existed?
Randall Carlson's theory about advanced ancient civilizations is truly fascinating and a bit of a departure from what we usually hear in mainstream archaeology. He's suggesting that highly sophisticated societies might have existed tens of thousands of years ago, way before the traditional cradles of civilization like Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China came into the picture. Imagine civilizations thriving before or even during the last ice age, which wrapped up around 11,700 years ago. That idea alone pushes back the conventional timeline of human development by several thousand years. Now, when you look at the evidence Carlson brings to the table, it's primarily centered around those massive and mystifying megalithic structures scattered across the globe. Take the pyramids of Giza, for example. Their alignment with the stars of Orion's belt and the precision of their construction is just mind-blowing. Or Stonehenge with its solstitial alignment standing there on the Salisbury Plain.
Two of these shafts go all the way through the body of the pyramid and exit on the outside and actually point at particularly significant stars.
These structures suggest that the people who built them had a far more advanced understanding of astronomy than we usually give them credit for. Carlson dives into the engineering and architectural skills of these ancient builders. He talks about how they constructed these massive stone structures, some involving stones weighing several tons. Just think about the logistics of transporting and precisely placing these enormous stones over great distances. It indicates a level of engineering know-how and physical physics that seems way ahead of their time. Now moving on. Randall Carlson's theory about ancient civilizations is absolutely something different, isn't it? He really makes you think about the roots of our history in a new way. Just consider the megalithic structures scattered all over the world.
When you account for the rise of sea level and the isostatic subsidence of the sea floor, it's not at all implausible that you had a large island complex in the mid-Atlantic Ocean.
Carlson sees these as evidence of advanced prehistoric civilizations. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is made up of over 2 million stone blocks, each weighing tons, and they're all placed with incredible precision. It's not just about the sheer size, but the sophistication in their construction. And it's not just in one place. These megalithic structures are everywhere, from the stone circles in Europe to the pyramids in Egypt and Mesoamerica. Carlson points out that the similarities in construction techniques and astronomical alignments across different cultures hint at a possibly shared or globally distributed source of knowledge. It's like these ancient builders were all tapping into the same advanced understanding, which is pretty mind-blowing to think about. Now, where it gets even more intriguing, is how Carlson links the disappearance of this advanced knowledge to catastrophic events. He often refers to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, suggesting that a comet impact might have triggered drastic climatic changes at the end of the Ice Age.
You may have periods of time where you have multiple impacts occurring over a short period of time associated with the destruction and disintegration of large comets.
Imagine massive flooding, climate shifts, and entire civilizations collapsing. It's like something out of a movie, but Carlson suggests it could be what wiped out these advanced societies and their knowledge. But here's the thing. He thinks this lost knowledge didn't just vanish. According to Carlson, it lived on in myths, legends, and religious texts, which he sees not just as stories but as historical records. Take the flood myths, for example, like Noah's Ark or the Epic of Gilgamesh. Carlson sees these as allegorical references to actual historical events, like massive post-glacial flooding. He believes that remnants of knowledge from these advanced civilizations were passed down through generations, albeit in a fragmented and symbolically encoded way. Moving back to megalithic structures, Randall Carlson's work on the astronomical alignments of megalithic structures is like peeling back layers of history to reveal the deep astronomical knowledge of ancient civilizations. Take the megalithic temples of Malta, Hagar Kim, and Manajra, for instance. These structures aren't just old, they're among the oldest freestanding structures in the world, dating back to around 3600, 3200 BC. What's really remarkable about them is how they demonstrate an intricate understanding of celestial movements, particularly the solar cycle. When you look at these temples, especially during the equinoxes, it's like watching a celestial dance choreographed by ancient architects. At Manajra on the equinoxes, the sunlight filters through a specific aperture, illuminating an inner stone slab. It's this incredible precision that highlights how the builders weren't just stacking stones, they were aligning them with celestial events, marking the change of seasons with architectural precision. But it's not just about alignments. The architectural design itself is a marvel.
Some reference to such an event can be traced in many of the legends and myths surrounding these stars that have come down to us from nations far removed from each other.
The layout of the temples seems carefully planned to align with the sun's position at significant times of the year. For example, the main axis of Hagar Chim is almost perfectly oriented to where the sun rises during the solstices. It shows a level of planning and understanding of the sun's movements. And then there's the construction itself. We're talking about huge megaliths, each weighing several tons, placed with such accuracy that they align with celestial events. It wasn't just a matter of brute force, it required sophisticated knowledge of astronomy and construction techniques. Plus, they used local limestone, which is abundant in Malta. The complexity of these temples goes beyond just their size or the weight of the stones. They have multiple apses, altars, and intricate carvings, all forming part of a complex architectural design. The series of semicircular chambers connected by a central corridor, and their alignment with specific astronomical events. The pyramids of Giza, especially the Great Pyramid, the precision with which these pyramids align to the cardinal points of the compass is just mind-boggling. Think about it. The Great Pyramid, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2580–2560 BC, is aligned almost perfectly north, south, east, and west. The northern side aligns to within a fraction of a degree of true north. Considering the era it was built in, that's an incredible feat of geometry and astronomy. The construction techniques themselves are a mystery. The ancient Egyptians might have used stars or the sun's path to find true north, which implies they had advanced surveying techniques and a deep understanding of angles and straight lines. It's impressive when you consider the tools and technology available at the time. Then there's the fascinating Orion correlation theory. This theory suggests that the layout of the three main pyramids at Giza mirrors the stars in Orion's belt. Proponents like Robert Bauval believe this alignment was intentional, reflecting a belief in the connection between the heavens and the afterlife.
They speak of these two regions of the sky, the southern sky with the stars of Orion, and can we move one slide up? Here's a nice view of them. They're pristine, by the way. It's really eerie how they carve those texts by hand, and some of the details is extraordinary.
With Orion associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth and the afterlife, the pyramids in this view were not just tombs but also celestial maps and gateways for the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. The smallest pyramid, Menkaura's pyramid, is slightly offset, mirroring the offset of the smallest star, Mintaka, in Orion's belt, which adds another layer of intrigue to this theory. The design of the pyramids also incorporates alignments with the sun and specific stars and constellations. For example, certain shafts within the Great Pyramid align with particular stars. These could have been more than architectural features. They might have held spiritual significance, possibly serving as pathways for the pharaoh's soul to the stars. Also, on specific days of the year, the sun sets between the pyramids, creating a visual spectacle likely significant in ancient Egyptian ceremonies. Now one of the most known megalithic structures.
Would it be fair to say that there's an element of a rediscovery of a lost technology from the past?
I think it would be fair to say that, yes.
Stonehenge, out there on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England. What's particularly fascinating about Stonehenge is its astronomical alignment and how it was constructed. The way it lines up with the summer solstice is probably what it's most famous for. On the longest day of the year, the sun rises right over the heel stone, which is set just outside the main stone circle. As the sun comes up, its rays shoot straight through the entrance and light up the center of the circle. Stonehenge also aligns with the winter solstice and possibly other celestial events. During the winter solstice, the sunset is framed by those massive stone trilithons, and some experts think it might even line up with lunar phenomena, which just adds another layer to how the builders understood both the sun and the moon's movements. When you think about how Stonehenge was built, it's even more mind-blowing. The final form was completed around 2500 BC, but it was built in phases over about 1,500 years. The main part of the monument is made up of these huge sarsen stones arranged in a circle, and there are smaller blue stones that were brought over from Wales. That's over 150 miles away. And then there's the layout of the stones. They're set up in this specific geometric pattern with an outer circle, an inner horseshoe arrangement, and those trilithon structures. The precision in the layout and how the stones are oriented show a really deep understanding of geometry and astronomy. It's not just a bunch of rocks placed randomly. Everything at Stonehenge is set up with purpose and meaning, which makes you wonder a little bit, doesn't it?
You had survivors of two types. Those who survived by the luck of the draw, and those who survived because they knew it was going to happen. They planned for it, they prepared for it.
You think they knew it was going to happen?
I think we could make a strong argument that somebody did know.
The Nibiru cataclysm theory and Randall Carlson's repeating cataclysm theory both delve into the realm of catastrophic events impacting Earth, yet they stem from markedly different foundations and implications.
Now what we do is we throw some type of an impact into the mix. It seems to fill gaps that were, at this point, still unexplained.
The Nibiru cataclysm theory posits the existence of a rogue planet, Nibiru, which supposedly passes through our solar system with an elongated orbit, causing gravitational upheavals and potentially catastrophic events on Earth every 3,600 years. This theory, largely based on interpretations of ancient texts, emphasizes a single extraterrestrial trigger for apocalyptic events. In contrast, Randall Carlson's theory is grounded in geological and astronomical evidence, suggesting that Earth has undergone periodic cataclysmic events due to a variety of natural causes, including comet impacts, volcanic eruptions, and ice age cycles.
One of the scenarios would certainly suggest that there were extreme climate changes.
Carlson, a self-taught geologist and scholar of ancient mythology, argues that these repeating cataclysms have shaped human history and the Earth's geology over millennia. While the Nibiru theory focuses on a specific, externally driven cataclysm linked to ancient myths, is there a possible hidden connection between Earth's cataclysms and Nibiru in space?
There had to be something we needed to look at that triggered the extreme climate changes that we do see.
The term Nibiru is deeply embedded in Sumerian and Babylonian mythology. It's a name that not only evokes the mysteries of the stars, but also connects us to the divine beliefs and astronomical prowess of ancient Mesopotamian cultures.
So when we're looking back at Sumer, those are the people that are sort of reinventing and relearning.
Well, part of our modern psychology is to imagine that we are somehow so far advanced.
Nibiru is linked to the god Marduk, a central figure in the Babylonian pantheon. Marduk represents the meeting point of power, divinity, and cosmic order, highlighting Nibiru's immense significance in religious texts and its crucial role in the astronomical and calendrical systems of that era. When it comes to the astronomical significance of Nibiru, the Babylonians held it in high esteem. Nibiru was considered the highest point of the ecliptic, marking the summer solstice's position. This wasn't just an arbitrary point in the sky, it was vital for their calendrical system, influencing agricultural practices and religious ceremonies. The tracking of Nibiru and its association with specific constellations underscored its importance for ancient astronomers. These scholars of the sky leveraged their knowledge of Nibiru's path to guide agricultural cycles, plan religious festivals, and interpret omens, integrating celestial observations into the fabric of their daily lives. Drawing parallels between civilizations, Nibiru in Mesopotamian mythology and the Greek star Phaethon offers a fascinating glimpse into the universal human endeavor to make sense of the cosmos. Phaethon, The shining one, linked to the sun god Helios, was said to drive the sun's chariot across the sky. This myth, much like the significance of Nibiru to the Mesopotamians, illustrates the critical role celestial bodies played in shaping the ancient world's understanding of time, space. Both Nibiru and Phaethon's stories reflect a deep-seated belief in the power of celestial entities to influence or even dictate the fundamental rhythms of earthly existence. Zecharia Sitchin's The 12th Planet, published in 1976, kicked off a series of books that weave together ancient mythology, astronomy, and the notion of extraterrestrial life into a narrative that's as fascinating as it is controversial. Sitchin introduced the world to the idea of Nibiru, a mysterious, yet-to-be-discovered planet with a wildly elliptical orbit taking it deep into the cosmos, far beyond Neptune every 3,600 years. But where did such an out-of-this-world theory come from? Sitchin's answer: ancient Sumerian cuneiform tablets, which he interpreted as chronicling the existence of this 12th celestial body in our solar system, if you also count the sun and moon. At the heart of Sitchin's theory lies the Anunnaki, a race of advanced beings from Nibiru, who supposedly visited Earth about 450,000 years ago. Sitchin's narrative doesn't just place these extraterrestrials on Earth. It credits them with genetically engineering early humans to create modern Homo sapiens for the purpose of mining gold needed on their home planet. It's a tale that marries the genesis of human civilization with cosmic visitors, suggesting that the advanced astronomical knowledge of the Sumerians, including their awareness of Nibiru's orbit, was a gift from these otherworldly ancestors. Sitchin's proposal of Nibiru's 3,600-year orbit stems from his unique interpretation of the Sumerian numeral system and their concept of a great year. Despite the lack of concrete evidence from mainstream science to back up Nibiru's existence or its effect on our planet, the idea has captured the imagination of many. It's even sparked theories linking Nibiru to mass extinction events on Earth, with some suggesting that its gravitational pull might fling comets and asteroids towards Earth, triggering catastrophic events.
What we certainly do see here is a clustering right around 13,000 years ago. That looks pretty evident to me.
Sitchin's work draws an interesting parallel to the theories of Immanuel Velikovsky, especially those laid out in his 1950s book, Worlds in Collision. Like Sitchin, Velikovsky turned to ancient texts, interpreting them as accounts of catastrophic astronomical events that reshaped early human history and mythology. However, Velikovsky focused on collisions within our inner solar system, while Sitchin took the narrative further into space, introducing an extraterrestrial dimension with the Anunnaki and their distant unseen home planet, Nibiru. Both theories, while outside mainstream scientific consensus, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the possibility that ancient myths might hold more truth about our universe and origins than we've traditionally believed.
So here we got mythology, and here we have scientific evidence that Earth was blasted.
As the Mayan long count calendar ticked down to its final days in December 2012, the world was abuzz with talk of apocalyptic predictions. Central to the frenzy was the mysterious planet Nibiru, a rogue celestial body rumored to be on a collision course with Earth. This blend of ancient prophecy, modern-day conspiracy, and astronomical speculation had people everywhere wondering if we were on the brink of cataclysmic destruction. The idea was that Nibiru, invisible to astronomers yet somehow detected by those in the know, would either smash into Earth or come close enough to wreak havoc through its gravitational pull. NASA, stepping into the fray, did something quite unexpected for a scientific organization. It directly addressed these doomsday predictions. The space agency was clear. There was no evidence of Nibiru, nor any celestial threat looming on the horizon. If a planet were barreling towards us, it would have been spotted by countless eyes scanning the skies, both professional and amateur. NASA's extensive sky surveys, including those by the Wide-Field Infrared Survey Explorer, had turned up nothing that could be the mythical Nibiru. Enter Randall Carlson, a self-taught geologist with a penchant for catastrophism. Carlson has delved deep into Earth's geological record, uncovering evidence of repeated cataclysmic events that have dramatically reshaped our planet. From rapid climate shifts to massive floods and comet impacts, his research paints a picture of Earth's tumultuous history and its impact on human civilization. This is where things get interesting. Could a hypothetical Nibiru fit into this pattern of cataclysms? Some might speculate that if Nibiru existed, Its elongated orbit could coincide with these catastrophic periods, possibly acting as a gravitational catalyst for comet showers or other disruptive events. The broader scientific community, however, frames these cataclysms within the context of natural Earth processes and known astronomical phenomena. Events like asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, and ice age cycles are recognized as part of Earth's dynamic history, but are attributed to natural causes rather than the influence of an unseen planet. The dialogue between speculative theories like Nibiru and the scientific exploration of Earth's cataclysmic past, as undertaken by researchers like Carlson, underscores our fascination with cosmic disasters. It reflects a deep-seated curiosity about the forces that have shaped and continue to influence our planet. While one path ventures into the realm of myth and pseudoscience, the other seeks to unravel the mysteries of our world through the rigorous lens of geology and astronomy. Together, they highlight our ongoing quest to understand the cataclysmic events that mark Earth's history and the cosmic ballet that plays out above us.